Well, for the last time this year, we welcome you to the Big A. It's game number 162 of the regular season, and we thank you for watching all season long. Unfortunately for the Halos, it ends on a sour note, of course, having gotten knocked down on Monday and taking the loss on Tuesday as well. Tonight, you've got another youngster. Garrett Richard is getting this start as we welcome you back to Angels Baseball, by the way, here on Fox Sports West for one last time. Yeah, I forgot about us. That's Gooby. I'm Victor. Thank you from both of us and our entire production team for tuning us in all season long. Garrett Richards getting to start tonight after Tyler Chadwick got to start last night. And, of course, it's not about those young kids right now. It's really, if you look back on this season, it's about the big three. Jared Weaver, Dan Herron, Irvin Santana.
And I tell you what, Victor, you can make an argument. There's no one in baseball has anywhere near these top three in the rotation. The combined record, 45-30, ERA under 3. But for me, it's about the innings and the strikeouts, the ability to be able to get people out and be there in that 7th, 8th, and 9th inning. Complete games. We mixed in a no-hitter in there, some one-hit shutouts. And of course, Jared Weaver had a 15 punch-out game. They were very good the entire season. The Angels are still looking for somebody. You mentioned as far as getting some guys going in the back end of this rotation. Garrett Richards, for me, has the body, has the stuff that he may be in that picture sooner rather than later. He has that fastball 96. His slider, when he throws it right, for the
But the cars speak for themselves, like the 2012 Sonata and 2012 Genesis. Visit your Southern California Hyundai dealer or MySoCalHyundai.com today. And by CarMax. Now more than ever, the smart choice is CarMax. Not wasting any time, Garrett Richards and the Halos taking the field here. The early start time at 5:05. Well, we're past that already. We'll take a look at the Texas Rangers lineup at 95 at 66. Ian Kinsler leading things off at second base. Elvis Andrus at shortstop. Josh Hamilton in center. Michael Young is the cleanup hitter. Originally slated to play third, he'll serve as the DH. Beltre is at third base. Mike Napoli doing the catching. Nelson Cruz in right. David Murphy in left. And Mitch Moreland will bat ninth and play first base. Taking on Garrett Richards, making his third major league start.
And the big thing for Garrett Richards is establishing his slider and staying on top of that pitch. Very good when he stays on top. He gets around it. That's when it becomes a difficult pitch. 94 to 96 with the fastball. Also a pretty good developing changeup too.
Take a look at the defense for the Angels tonight. You've got Jeremy Moore, left. Peter Borges at center. Mike Trout is in right field. In the infield, it's Cayasco, Ibar, Velasquez, Navarro from third to first with Bob Wilson behind the plate.
Gets a pretty good speed in the outfield. Jeremy Moore playing left field, a guy that has played center field before in the minor leagues, a guy that can cover a lot of ground himself. Got his first major league hit last night, but like I said, covers a lot of ground. So anything hit in the ballpark with the speed in the outfield tonight should be caught. Borges in center, and you got Mike Trout in right. There's a lot of speed in the outfield. A lot of youth, but a lot of speed.
Mentioned this being the third major league start for Garrett Richards. Second against the Texas Rangers. Had one on August the 15th. That's the day that he got hurt. Came out of the first inning after suffering a right adductor strain. Missed 18 games on the DL, delivering a strike on Ian Kinsler to start this one. This one pulled to third. Cayasco's got it one away.
Not an easy play by Cayasco. That'll get you a good wake-up call right away. A rocket right at him. Able to make the play. Folks, is this a routine out?
Elvis Andrus, the shortstop, steps to the plate. He went over 3 last night, had a couple of walks. Texas with 15 hits in last night's victory. Ended up picking up 5 home runs overall. Tyler Chatwood unable to get through the 3 innings. Jerome Williams got knocked around. Horatio Ramirez for 2 innings, and then Trevor Bell for 2. Andrews looks at his strike. Take a look at our Hyundai key to the game.
Since Garrett Richards is on the mound, I'll go with little Keith Richards. Wicked as it seems, he has got a nasty slider. That's the big thing for him. A slider, if he stays on top, has one of the best in the game as far as a young pitcher to go along with that 94 to 96 mile an hour fastball. That was the one right there. Nasty slider. It is wicked as it seems. Keith Richards. We got Richards on the hill versus Harrison on for the Texas Rangers. So we got a little Beatles and Stones.
Beatles, yeah.
Yes.
Great. Now we get here Norm Peters talk about the Beatles and how they created music the rest of the night.
And why would we not have that from Norm?
3 balls and 1 strike on Elvis Andrus with Josh Hamilton on deck. There's a strike. A full count. Texas still unsure of where they are going right now, although they are in the driver's seat. They've got a game advantage over the Detroit Tigers for the second best record. As the 3-2 pitch is outside, and he walked him. If Texas wins, then they clinch that second best record. They will take on the wild card winner, whether it's Tampa Bay or Boston, and they will do so at home. If they lose and Detroit wins, the Tigers, who won the season series against the Rangers, would have the advantage, and then Texas would be off to New York to begin division play on Friday. Texas flying C.J. Wilson and Derek Holland back to Arlington early this morning, so they can get rested, but these guys right now don't know where they're headed. They know they're going to the postseason, and they're not resting their guys either.
No, they're playing the full 9 innings, too.
Yeah.
A little bit of a break defensively last night in the bottom of the 9th, but other than that, getting a lot of at-bats. Trying to keep those swings together because they have a number of players in this lineup right now that are red hot.
It's a Texas team that's hit .324 in the month of September, 47 home runs. 18-6 month for them. Richards ahead of the count at no balls and a strike on Hamilton. All 3 games getting to start at center field. Andrews takes off. The pitch is outside. It gets away from Wilson. So it's still a base for Elvis Andrews.
Picked a good pitch to go on a changeup thrown by Richards. Good action on the changeup, but Bobby trying to be quick with the transfer, unable to catch the baseball as it ran away from the glove. Good movement on the changeup, though, at 87.
37th stolen base on the year for Andrews. Man in scoring position with 1 out. Hamilton with a 1-ball, 1-strike count. There's the 1-1. Hamilton a swing and a miss on the off-speed, 1 and 2. Garrett's first major league start came at Yankee Stadium against the Pinstripers. Took the loss. 5 innings, 6 runs, 6 hits. That was back on August the 10th. He's had a couple of outings in relief. This one yanked into right field, chasing Trout back. Still going back. Reaches up, makes the catch. There's out number 2. What a play by Mike Trout as Andrews was about 3/4 of the way to third base. Stays at second.
Like we said, if it stays in the ballpark with this speed in the outfield, there's a good chance it's going to be caught. And Trout had a tremendous jump. Got to look where the wall was at, had a feel for the warning track. Looks up and makes a great play, preventing a run at this point.
Here's Michael Young, the DH. Young's had an incredible series. 2 for 5 last night, 2 for 3 the day before. A .338 average at the start of the game. He shoots one down the line, but foul, and it's no balls and a strike.
Does he seem to always come up with a runner in scoring position?
Yeah, I mean, he's got 106 runs batted in with only 11 home runs, although he has 41 doubles, 6 triples on the year. But that's tough to do, just that few home runs and that many runs batted in. He's the team leader in RBIs with 106.
The only guy I can remember doing that with Tommy Herr with the Cardinals. I think he had 10 home runs or less and over 100 RBI. A little bit of speed in front of him with Willie McGee and Vince Coleman, though, to score all those runs.
Jackrabbits everywhere. Except Vince couldn't get away from the tarp machine.
Yep.
At Busch Stadium.
Yeah, he couldn't. We were teammates in Kansas City a few years later, and I said, well, it wasn't us for the Royals. It magically had him get run over by the tarp, but he was unable to play in the World Series.
Young fouls it off to the right. 1 ball, 2 strikes. It was a cool concept having that tarp machine raised from the underground along that first base line and have it roll out. I think they went to the regular tarp down the line after that.
Yeah, it's probably a good idea after that, especially with the numbers that Vince Coleman was putting up as far as stealing bases. He was pushing Ricky Henderson every year for that title.
So 1 and 2 strikes on Young with 2 outs. Andrews standing at second base. Breaking pitch down and away. Evens a count. Mentioned Young with that .338 average, second in the American League in batting average, behind Miguel Cabrera. He seems to be on his way to winning a batting title. Another one for him. National League, a little interesting scenario twist, if you will, earlier today. Jose Reyes leading Ryan Braun by a point going into today's action. Now he's up by 2 points. Young fouls it off to the right. Reyes, if you unaware, decided to play in today's game with the lead. Came up in the first inning, got a bunt base hit, and then was taken out of the game. So he's now a 2-point lead over Braun. I think Braun needs, what, a 4-for-4 game?
There's been some close ones over the years.
Yep.
I'm sure Hal McRae and George Brett had a real close battle.
Pickoff attempt at second, and they got him. That will end the inning. No runs, no hits, nobody left on. We head to the bottom of the first, scoreless. Just lineup for tonight's game. Eric Ibar leading things off at shortstop. Mike Trout is in right field. Peter Borges in the 3-hole in center field. Vernon Wells is the cleanup hitter at DH tonight. Alberto Callasco at third. Jeremy Moore in left. Bobby Wilson doing the catching. Efren Navarro's at first base, and Gil Velasquez getting the start at second base. He will bat ninth, taking on the left-hander. The name of Matt Harrison, looking for his 15th win of the season.
He's throwing the ball extremely well, especially of late. Last 4 starts, he's won them all in ERA under 3. Fastball 90 to 95, occasionally get up there 97 with the 4-seam fastball. Cut fastball, curve, slider, changeup.
Harrison, 26 years of age, making his 30th start of the season, 31st appearance. As Ibar drops a bunt foul on the third base side, and it's no balls and a strike. Harrison's trying to join Wilson and Holland as 16-game winners. We've got 3 lefties in the rotation with 16 wins.
They're all with power arms. Generally, you think of left-handed pitching, you think of guys that spot the fastball, big curveballs, great changeups, but they all throw extremely hard.
Harrison, a guy that was originally in the Atlanta Braves organization, part of that package for Mark Teixeira.
That's worked out pretty good for Texas. Don't you think?
Yeah, slightly. This one down the right field line, slicing foul. It's 1 ball, 2 strike counts. Let's see, off the top of my head. Matt Harrison, Elvis Andrus, Neftali Feliz, Jared Saltalamacchia, who's now with the Boston Red Sox. And there's one other guy.
Just the top 3 you mentioned.
His name is Bo. I know that. At least I think it is. Ibar bounces it foul, and it's still 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Does he play guitar?
Bo Jones, is that right? Hold on. Bo Jones, left-handed pitcher.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good memory.
Teixeira and Ron Mayhay going in that deal. Little dribbler foul, third base line. Count remains at 1-2. And Harrison, if I remember correctly at the time, Harrison had some shoulder problems. I think he was at Double-A. And he was the key, one of the key parts to that deal. He had some shoulder issues, nothing structural, but there was some concern. Enough of a red flag where Texas went back to Atlanta and said, you know, we need another player in this deal. We need a throw-in. Neftali turned out to be pretty good.
Yeah, that was a pretty good throw-in. Yeah. Throwing about 99 miles an hour. I talked to John Shearholtz, who was the general manager of the Braves at that point, and his mindset, he was never afraid to pull off a deal like that. And, you know, obviously now it looks lopsided, but at that point they felt they were 1 hitter away from winning a championship, and that's what you want. I mean, if you feel that you're 1 player away, whether it's a position player or a pitcher, and you have some prospects, why would you not pull off that deal if he felt that Cher was going to get him a world championship?
Ibar fouls it back. I think the mentality for me has always been prospects are players that get you to the next level or get you the players to help you get to that next level. I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, you can't be attached or married to a particular prospect if it makes your team better in the long term. Look at the Milwaukee Brewers. This one toward the middle. Kinsler with a diving stop it from his knees will throw out Mitch Moreland. But say, look at the Brewers making the deal this past offseason, sending Brett Laurie, number 1 pick for them, terrific player whom we've seen with the Blue Jays, on to Toronto in exchange for Sean Markham because they needed some starting pitching, and it's worked out for the Brewers. Probably one of the best pitching staffs they've ever had in their franchises.
And they knew they were going to have enough offense. You know, Brett Lawry's going to be a great player. There's no doubt about it. We saw him up at Toronto. He's a special player, but Sean Markham's a guy with that power sinker. And all of a sudden, they have 3 frontline starting pitchers that are going to take them into the postseason right now with the opportunity to maybe win a world championship before Prince Fielder moves on to somewhere else.
Trout last night got to start in the leadoff spot with 1 for 3 with a double. As a 1 ball, 1 strike count. I think that one of the things that stands out in that Harrison deal coming from Atlanta is that the Braves never really traded good pitching. This one off the end of the bat towards first, and Moreland will take care of it. Let's take a look at the Rangers defensively. Behind Matt Harrison tonight, you've got Murphy in left, Hamilton at center. Cruz is in right field. In the infield, it's Young, Andrews, or pardon me, Beltre, Andrews, Kinsler, Moreland, third to first, and Napoli behind the plate.
And Josh Hamilton seemed to be settled back into that center field position. Earlier in the year, we saw him play a lot of left field. He's a guy with above average arm strength, covers a lot of ground. He's a big guy, but he covers a lot of ground. Very quick. Seen his ability to come in on baseball as well and throw people out with 5 outfield assists.
Peter swinging at that first pitch, bouncing it right back to Harrison. A 1-2-3 inning for the Angels. One complete, and we're scoreless. Southern California Toyota dealers. Top of the second, scoreless, and it's our pleasure to welcome in former Angels reliever Justin Spire, kind enough to join us here. Big honor, man. You had the last ceremonial first pitch, and you did it in grand fashion, too. You didn't throw it. You decided to catch it. How did that turn out?
You know, I mean, it was an unbelievable honor for me to be here. I mean, the Angels have been great to me all the years that I played for them, and it was just an honor for me to, give the first pitch back to the Marine Corps. They let me out of the Marine Corps 2 years early. I did 4 years, and I had 2 years left on my contract, and they let me out to play professional baseball. And what these guys are doing for our country and defending our freedom, the honor, they're the heroes. I just got to play a kid's game.
Yeah, right. Yeah, Justin, we talked about that a lot, about how how much that means to you, having the Marines here for you today. And what made you decide to do that? When you went right out of high school, or was it out of college you went and joined the Marine Corps?
I was a little bit of a crazy kid when I was growing up, so I needed some discipline.
Why are you looking at me, man?
No,
like I relate or something.
See, he knows I'm all right. He's trying to make
so I needed some discipline, and I got to go, Dad, I need some discipline here. What am I going to do? He's like, I've been teaching you discipline your whole life. And I go, I'm going to sign up for the Marines. And I was 17 at the time, and he said, and I said, Dad, I'm going to sign up. I need you to have sign up for me because I need a parent guardian signature. And he goes, I'll sign. Where do I sign? I'll sign twice.
Couldn't wait to get rid of you.
It was great, though. I mean, the experience that I had, I went from throwing grenades to throwing baseballs, and the discipline and responsibility the Marine Corps provided me. I mean, it really helped me in my career, definitely.
What have you been doing lately? I mean, do you have any ideas or what you want to do long term? Do you want to coach? Do you want to manage anything like that? Are you done with baseball?
No, I love baseball. I'm using baseball as a platform. I'm doing some public speaking. I'm going down to the Marine Corps base and talking to this organization called the Devil Pups program, and kids are at risk, like I was, sort of going down the wrong road. And I come in there and say, this is what the Marine Corps, and this is what life, this is where you can go in life. You know what I mean? So, and I talk to them, and I'm doing some volunteer coaching. I'm trying on a lot of different hats, but I haven't really. When you do something since you were 4 years old, Goobs, you could probably attest to this. You try on different hats and you try to figure out what you're going to do, and it takes a little while to hit your groove.
Yeah, exactly. And your dad played a lot of years in the big leagues as an infielder, and then of course you carved your niche as a pitcher. Did you ever have aspirations that maybe you could follow in those footsteps as far as being a position player, or do you always felt you always had that arm to be able to be on the hill and challenging people?
You know, I loved being a relief pitcher. Coming in, I had a everyday everyday player's mentality, coming in knowing I had a chance to come get in that game every day and pitching with that adrenaline. And, you know, I mean, my dad had a huge influence on my career. He played 20 years and bringing me into the clubhouse every day and going in and meeting all the ball players. And, I mean, so, you know, it's time for me to go back and, like, you know, influence some of these kids and coach them, because I had some of the best coaches growing up.
You know, I've often, you know, when you see sons of former players, and Victor, obviously the same thing with his dad, Cookie playing for a lot of years at the major league level. Look at that. You're still a legend here.
No, I didn't. I mean, some of my best years weren't here. I mean, I pitched good here for about a year and a half, and then I got old, Goobs. I mean, I was hanging sliders.
See, now he's looking at you. Your career ended here, kind of in the same fashion.
Hey, I got old. I hung some sliders. I threw some backdoor sliders, and they went a long ways. But I pitched good for the first year and a half here, and we had some good runs. I'm looking up at 07, 08, 09. I was on all three of those teams, you know, and it's tough to get to the playoffs. I look at this team. This is a good ball club, and they had some good young players that did some things this year. And let's see if Borges can get that one. Get up.
Straight away center field. Napoli hits another home run against the Angels. He had two last night, and it's 1-0 Texas.
Wow, what a year he's had. Fellow Paisan. Anyway, yeah, no, the Angels had a great year, and it's tough to get to the playoffs. You know, it's really tough. I think Vernon's going to have a big year next year coming over from Toronto. I think he's going to do really well. And, you know, these young players, I mean, I think Walden did a great job as a bullpen guy coming out of the pen, closing. I mean, it's not easy to close in the big leagues. I closed a little bit, and it's not easy to close. And he had a sub 3 ERA, and he has a lot of saves, and I think he did a good job. So I mean, I think this Angels organization is in for a bright future.
I got to ask you about the impersonations. I never got a chance to witness them. How did that all start for you? Is it always as a kid in the Marine Corps? How did it get started for you?
You know, Fox came up and asked me, like, hey, we want you to do the lineup, and you know, I said, okay, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to go all out with it. You know, I'm going to have fun with it, and I'm going to joke around with it. And you know, there was that dodgeball movie with Ben Stiller, and he was like, you know, the Cobra, where you like, yeah, right, you know. And so I put the fake eye black on, and I did the whole routine. I had the cutoffs on, and I put oil on my arms, and I did the whole routine as dodgeball. And Fox loved it, and I wasn't really doing it for the TV or anything like that. I just did it for my teammates to make them laugh. I just really enjoyed coming from an old school baseball background. Oh, there we go. That's the inning. Coming from an old school baseball background, I just wanted to make my teammates laugh. So
nice. You did a great job with that, man.
Pleasure, man. Thanks a lot for joining us.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thanks,
nice seeing you.
To the bottom of the second. Texas up 1-0. Ninth of the year. Vernon Wells to lead things off here in the second. Vernon swinging through the fastball from Matt Harrison, who had a 1-2-3 inning in the first. 3 ground ball outs. Vernon went 0 for 2 yesterday before being replaced defensively out in left field. 218 average, 25 home runs, 66 runs batted in. And it's 1 ball, 1 strike. Our thanks to Justin Spide, kind of joining us here in the booth. And
yeah, he's pretty fun
high energy
guy.
dude, man.
Oh, no question. His impersonations were priceless, though, by the way.
Vernon punches one into right field. It's a leadoff base hit. Don't miss the American League Championship Series and the World Series on Fox. Exclusive coverage begins on October the 8th, 1 week from Saturday. See today's brightest stars battle to become tomorrow's hero. The ALCS and World Series only on Fox. Take a look at what's going on in the wild card race. The Tampa Bay Rays down 5-0 in the top of the 4th inning down in St. Pete. Boston has battled back to tie it. It's 2-2 in the 5th in Baltimore. Those 2 teams tied atop the American League wild card. So are the Cardinals and the Braves in the National League. There's a possibility. If those scores hold, at least in the National League, we got a play-in game. If Boston wins, Boston's in. If not, another play-in game tomorrow.
Not great for baseball if both those games happen. Although fans of those teams certainly don't want that. Then you're going to have to use another starting pitcher, each one of those teams. So going into the first round of the playoffs, you'll be limping in there because you have to spend another starting pitcher just to get into the postseason.
I mean, there were some rumors as early as today, as this one's right back to Harrison. His only play is going to be the first. He gets Callasco as well as advances into scoring position. There were some rumors, or at least speculation, that maybe Boston was trying to make an acquisition just for Thursday in case they got to that point as far as starting pitching is concerned.
Why not?
Bruce Chen's name, Chris Capuano.
But the first year I played in the Major League, we picked up Omar Moreno, who was with the Pirates at the time. I think it was like in the 10th or 11th of September. And he hit about 400, got us to the postseason, but he was not unable to be on the active roster for postseason play. But the reality is you get to the postseason, then you try to win from there.
Jeremy Moore looks at a breaking pitch for a strike. Jeremy got his first major league hit last night. The liner off the glove of Michael Young. Ended up going 1 for 2. Came in late. 1 for 4 in the big leagues this year. Takes that fastball in tight. Evens count at 1 ball, 1 strike. Moore with good numbers at AAA Salt Lake. But the entire PCL with 18 triples. At 21 stolen bases, 24 doubles. As he pulls this one foul, it's at 1 and 2.
Well, you can see how he holds his hand low, and then when the pitch is being made, he loads up very well and comes through the baseball. See why he has that ability to drive the ball and utilize that speed and get all those triples.
Wells at second base, and the 1-2 is outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Two. Moore looks at a called strike 3. Fastball on the outside corner. 2 outs.
Looked like Napoli was setting up in the inner half of the plate for the fastball, and the fastball ran out over the plate. A 4-seam fastball at 93. He's got a power fastball, there's no question. I mean, we talked about earlier the 3 left-handers they have in this rotation all throw extremely hard.
Here's Bobby Wilson. Vernon still at second base. Bobby batting in the 7th spot, takes a strike. He's hitting 185 with a home run. 8 runs batted in. Dustin Pedroia has hit a solo home run against the Orioles, so the Red Sox lead at 3-2 in the 5th.
He's certainly swinging the bat. He's driven in 2 of the runs so far for Boston.
And Mark Teixeira's hit a home run, so it's 6-0 New York.
So if those scores hold, then it means Texas goes home to take on the Boston Red Sox. The Detroit Tigers would be playing at New York. Wilson pops this one up left side of the infield. Adrian Beltre calls off all the Sanders. The inning comes to an end. No runs, a hit, one left on in scoring position through 2. Texas up 1-0. Including his warm-up tosses here. Halos looking to finish off the season on a winning note. It would be their 87th win of the season, but we'll have to battle back here against Texas, running out their starting 9 and trying to clinch that number 2 seed, if you will, in the American League.
It's an important game for the Rangers and, of course, Detroit. Playing at home, but losing in the top of the 6th inning, 3-1 to Cleveland.
Yep. A lot of Tiger fans not very happy with the Angels last night and today. Removing Irvin Santana, Jared Weaver in the rotation, and having a lot of youngsters playing in the lineup. Murphy lifts one in the air toward right. Mike Trout back, stepping onto the warning track. 1 out. Fans join the Angels in Tempe, Arizona next spring with the 2012 Angels official spring training package. You'll get the best game tickets, hotel accommodations, great merchandise, and exclusive barbecue with appearances by members of the Angels coaching staff and spring training roster. Call 1-800-8-WARM-UP to reserve your package today. You going out next year? Finally?
Yeah, I might do that.
I'll even buy you dinner.
Really?
Finally.
All right. I'll come out.
Yeah.
We play the Diamondbacks out there during the season, or do they come here to Arizona?
They come here. Interleague play?
Yeah.
Diamondbacks come here. We go to San Diego, Colorado. Giants, Dodgers, D-backs here.
A little less traveling.
Yeah. Moreland pulls this one over to first. Efrain Navarro has it. 2 outs. Diamondbacks got a nice joint out there. D-backs in the Rockies sharing a complex.
Yes, they do.
When was the last time you were out there and actually went to the ballparks?
I think I did the last game of spring about maybe 4 years ago. 4 years ago.
It's unbelievable. All the new ballparks out there.
It is. I mean, for me, I played majority of my spring training games down in Florida in the Grapefruit League, but I'll tell you what, the Cactus League, the travel is so much better. Everything's close. The weather's perfect. It's consistent to weather.
And no more Tucson.
Yes, so there's no real long
for
trips.
the most part.
Well, granted, there's some traffic, but it's perfect, though. That's why a lot of clubs will have their batting practice at their stadium before they go play the game.
Yep.
Down in the Grapefruit League, a lot of times you have to go to those cities and have your batting practice, play your game, do your running after the game in the outfield during play, which is odd when you see pitchers running in the outfield during the actual course of the game. But in Arizona, you have the luxury of being close by your own facility that you can do all your workout and then play the game.
Kinsler drawing the walk to second, issued by Richards. Puts a man on with 2 outs here in the third, and Elvis Andrews will come to the plate. I mean, those facilities now in spring training are just ridiculous.
I mean, the weight rooms and everything else they have in there, it's unbelievable.
Still the best time of year as far as from a fan's perspective. Access to players and autographs and all that stuff.
Yeah, you have all those practice fields and you have your game field, but you're going back and forth in the access for the fans to get autographs and talk to players. It's a perfect field. I mean, and players at that point are getting their work in, but they're also a little more accessible, and they're going to talk to fans and get signed autographs and just tell them how they think their team is going to be this upcoming season.
Oh, 1 count on Andrews, who drew a walk himself in the first. He also picked up a stolen base, but then was picked off by Richards to end the first inning.
The way everything okay with Howie when he left the game yesterday, diving for that ball, everything was okay. Today, checked out for him, smiling, walking around during batting practice.
Quick throw to first, and Kinsler's back. Kinsler picked up his 30th stolen base last night, becoming a 30-30 guy. Second time he had done that. The 12th player in Rangers history with multiple 30-30 years. Two balls and 1 strike. Garrett wants a new baseball. Nice to see Garrett finish on a high note, especially against a very tough lineup. Built some confidence going into the offseason for him. Andrews takes that pitch upstairs. 3 balls and 1 strike. He and Chatwood both saw action in spring training last year. As we talked about during the pregame show, we'll have to wait and see how the offseason plays out. The Angels feel like internally they've got the arms for the back end of the rotation, or if they've got to go outside the organization.
Yeah, both of them are going to be stars at the major league level, but are they ready to be stars? And that's the thing. Both of them really haven't pitched that long at the AAA level.
Yep.
Making that jump basically from AA.
When Tyler got set down to AAA this year, that was his first experience there. As Kinsler takes off, it's a strike to throw down from Wilson. In time. Kinsler gunned down to end the inning. No runs, no hits, nobody left on. Into the bottom of the third. It's 1-0 Texas.
Wilson to Velasquez able to tag Kinsler as he tried to hook slide around with his hand, but gets tagged in the face to end the inning. Quick transfer for Bobby Wilson. Perfect throw.
Is that technically a face plant fiesta or no?
If you're going to get it out, that's a good way to get it out at second base. So you get a little damage done and an out. Perfect.
Efren Navarro leading things off. Shoots one down the line. There's a base hit. Efren with his first major league knock. It's a single to lead off the third.
Well, we've seen him do it with the glove in these last 2 games. He's been fantastic at first base. Fielding his position, stays back against a tough lefty, and goes the other way. Fastball away. That's a pretty good piece of hitting.
Yep.
Staying back with your hands, hitting the ball hard by Beltre at third base for your first career major league hit.
Great to see those guys do it. More last night. Navarro now. Last game of the season, a la Mark Trumbo.
Yes, it's official.
Mark doing it last year in Arlington. There's Gil Velasquez, who looks at a strike. Velasquez, 2 for 4 with the Halos. Had a 2 for 2 game last night. That hit that he picked up, Velasquez that is, in the 7th inning last night, the first major league hit he had had since 2008 when he was with the Red Sox.
Some pretty good things at second base already in this game.
Only scoring in this game, a Mike Napoli 2-out home run in the second. And just as we speak, Tigers battling back against the Tribe, 3-3. Oh, 2 is lined towards short. Andrews has it, and there's out number 1. Fans sign up today for the 2nd annual Angels 5K and Kids Fun Run on April 21st, 2012. Participants will run a course that goes through the Big A. For more details and to sign up today, visit angels.com/5K. Proceeds from the event will benefit the Angels Baseball Foundation. That's not your thing, right?
Yeah, want to do that? We got to do that.
Would you do it?
Yes.
Say swear.
Swear.
I'll do it.
All right, let's do it.
You
home?
and I are in.
We're in there?
We're in there.
All right.
You got to wear those dolphin shorts.
They may be retired by then. Or they've already been retired. Put it that way.
Absolutely. I'm in.
All right. We're in.
Cool.
Yeah.
Be a long day. Get here early.
That's how we roll.
Go eat over at Felix's, eat some Cuban food in the Orange Circle.
Yes. Work our way over.
Yeah, you burn off the calories early.
Yes.
Put them back on.
Put it back on and then ready for the game.
Perfect. Like how you think. Ibar 0 for 1 with a ground down. 2-0 pitch. Taps this one foul at the plate, 2-1.
$5K, what's that, about 3.5 miles?
That's 3-point-something miles.
Yeah, that'll be easy.
Okay.
Yeah.
In your sleep. Well, my sleep. I don't know about you.
I generally don't try to run in my sleep if I could avoid that.
Are you like one of those like slow joggers? Like,
no,
like
I'll usually have my
my
music on and I'll be cruising pretty quick.
2-1. Ibar lines one towards second, and Kinsler with a leaping grab. 2 outs.
Well, Kinsler's making some pretty good plays at second base in this series. DH one game, but other than that, it's made some solid plays.
He timed that jump perfectly, too.
Well, Eric Ibar doesn't want to hit the ball towards Kinsler anymore tonight. 2 good plays against him already. He got up there high to make that play and still had the presence of mind to look over to first for a potential double play.
So 2 outs. Navarro still at first base. Mike Trout looks at a strike. Trout grounded out to Mitch Moreland in the first inning. He's 0 for 1. No balls, 2 strikes. Trout had a double last night in the 8th inning. His 6th in the big leagues this year. The 0-2. This one hit foul into the seats on the first base side. Texas with a run on a hit. No errors. Nobody left on. The Halos, no runs, 2 hits. 1 man left on.
And Harrison, the guy that keeps the ball in the ballpark pretty well. He's only allowed 13 home runs in 181 1/3 innings pitched so far this year. He's very hard to elevate the baseball on. He stays down with his fastball, 93-96, but his breaking pitch and changeup, especially his changeup against right-handed batters, he likes to throw that pitch.
Swing and a miss. Down goes Trout. Leadoff single, stranded over at first base. Through 3, Texas still up 1-0. This year, which team holds the Major League Baseball record for most home runs in a season?
It's a tough one.
Wasn't it the Yankees
That was
a couple of years ago?
That's what comes to mind.
Like 260 or something like that, 270. Andrews lifting one out toward right center field. First pitch swinging. Borges makes the catch. There's the first down of the inning.
Did they do it in the new Yankee Stadium? Is that when they broke the record?
That would have been 2 years ago. I'm not sure. For some reason that comes to mind. It was recent. It seems like it was recent. Andrews now 0 for 1 with a walk as Josh Hamilton steps to the plate. He's 0 for 1. A fly ball to deep right field that Mike Trout tracked down. Swinging first pitch, fouls it straight back.
Was it back in the day when the Atlanta Braves, when Hank Aaron was there? Did they have 3 guys that hit 40 home runs on their team? Davey Johnson was one of them.
Eddie Matthews. Right? Davey with the Braves.
Yes.
Fastball high. Foul back. And it's a ball and 2 strikes. Was kind of looking up that Braves thing that you're talking about. I just saw the answer to the trivia question. I'm not going to give it. Yankees are involved, but I'll explain it once we give the answer. But the answer is not the Yankees. Another foul ball. The count remains at a ball and 2 strikes. Trying to get that fastball upstairs, evens the count. Garrett's done a nice job. Gave up the home run to Napoli with 2 outs. He has no strikeouts. He has walked 2. That home run, the only hits he's allowed. Fouled off to the left.
And Richards throws a little bit across his body. And most times, if you're a pitcher, you want to land with your landing foot straight in line with the plate, but throws across his body. That adds some deception to his delivery.
This one looped over to third, and there's out number 2. Good little battle between those two. Hey, don't miss the Ford CIF Southern Section Game of the Week on Fox Sports West. This week, Santa Margarita takes on Los Alamitos. High school football tomorrow night at 7:30 on Fox Sports West. No, I'm not changing my pick. I'm still sticking with the Eagles. Don't bother asking.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
Now you don't blame me.
No.
You were questioning me. Now.
Well, I certainly don't have something to fall back. I'm 1-2 so far on my picks.
Michael Young with a 1-ball, no strike count. He grounded out to third base in the second. He was at the plate in the first with Anderson scoring position when Andrews got picked off to end the inning. Ground ball to the right side. Velasquez to his left has it. Richards with a 1-2, 3, 4. We get to the bottom of the inning. Texas still up 1-0. Your Southern California Ford dealer. Visit us today and trade up to Ford. And buy Jack in the Box. For a limited time, Jack's really big chicken sandwich combo is back for only $3.99 plus tax at participating restaurants. Texas up 1-0 courtesy of Mike Napoli home run. We start the bottom of the 4th, and Peter Borges takes the strike. Borges, Wells, and Callaspo 3, 4, and 5. Peter lofting this one foul. First base side, and it's quickly 0-2. Peter bounced one back to Harrison in the first inning. The left-hander with a couple of strikeouts, no walks, 2 hits allowed. Swing and a miss. 1 away. Let's go back to our AT&T trivia question. Which team holds the Major League Baseball record for most home runs in a season? 97 Mariners. Yeah, 264. Wow. The Yankees have the record for most home runs hit at home, which was set a couple of years ago in their first season at the new ballpark.
What does that baseball fly out the right center field? But the Mariners with the record.
Yep. And on that that Braves question we were talking about, Vernon breaks his bat, loops one out towards shallow right center, where Kinsler will make the catch. 2 outs. It was Hank Aaron, David Johnson, you're correct, Darrell Evans, Eddie Matthews was their manager. And Matthews was in there somewhere. Long time Brave.
Hall of Famer.
Yeah. Milwaukee and Atlanta. Boston too, I think, right? Was he in Boston? Is that going back too far?
That might be a little bit too far. I think Milwaukee and Atlanta. Got an autograph from him way back in the day when I still think baseball needs to get back to those old-timer games. They're a blast when you get to talk to the greats.
This one toward the corner. Cruz will give it a look, and it'll bounce foul. It's 0-2.
I don't know why baseball stopped doing that. I mean, they still do it at Yankee Stadium. There's not many other teams that still have that game. It's a blast.
Yeah.
I mean, the old timers love to come and just visit with the players, the modern players right now, and just talk. The conversations and stories are amazing.
This one back over the mound, up the middle. Andrews can't get it. It's a seeing eye single for Alberto Callasco with 2 outs here in the 4th. Remember the equitable Cracker Jack old timers games they used to have all the time?
Yes.
Now those guys took things a little too serious. That was hardcore competition.
Yes, it was. They weren't messing around. They couldn't move real good at times, but they were trying as hard as they could.
And then that evolved into, that was the Senior Professional Baseball League down in Florida, right? Would you do that today? If it were around, would you do it?
If the mound was at 40 feet away, maybe. I can't quite get it there from 60 feet anymore.
What would be a fair distance? Oh, well, first of all, what would be the cutoff as far as age-wise that you'd have to be to play in that league if you're moving the mound up, let's say from 60 feet 6 inches to 55 feet? You got to be at least 55?
Yeah, have to be at least 50.
At least 50.
Yeah.
So member of the AARP with your card and check. And so you'd be there next year.
Next year.
You could play on the senior tour, the Champions Tour in golf.
Yeah.
And play in these senior professional baseball.
Yeah, it'd be perfect.
55 feet, that would be fair?
Yeah.
Jeremy looks at a pitch inside. It's 1 ball, 1 strike.
Yeah, that'd be all right.
So then you would do it? You would consider it?
I would consider it. As long as they agreed to make outs when they came up to bat against me, too, if they could.
So what are you begging now?
Yes.
Seriously?
You know, you remember Justin Spire was talking about his last few sliders he hung over the middle part of the plate. I did that quite a bit my last game.
Now you want a gift from senior citizens while you're getting paid to play senior professional baseball. Almost senior citizens. AARP members.
I'm looking for the edge.
What is wrong with you?
I'm looking for an edge. I'll still be tired from doing that 5K race to start the year.
So you can run a 5K, but now you want people to help you out. It's all about you, right? Don't hit the ball hard. Don't hit it back to me. And don't bunt. Seriously.
No, they can bunt.
They got to sign a waiver when they come to the plate?
Yeah, they can bunt. I'll be all right with that. I'll make those plays.
Breaking pitch outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
By the way, you think they're stressing down in Tampa right now? That game, they're in trouble. Yanks up 7-0. We're already looking to Baltimore and hoping something goes well there. Boston leading 3-2 in that one.
Yeah, Boston's still up 3-2 in the bottom of the 6th inning. In the National League, St. Louis up 6-0 over Houston. Philadelphia's gotten 1 back. They trail Atlanta 3-2. Moore takes that pitch inside. Full count. Tigers and Cleveland still tied at 3.
Well, if you told me about 2-3 weeks ago that Boston and Atlanta would be in trouble getting into the postseason, I would say you have no idea of the game.
Oh, I mean, you go back to the beginning of September and you're sitting there going, all right, ho hum. It's going to be a boring month of September across baseball for the most part. And you got to wait till October for exciting baseball. And all of a sudden, just things have evolved to this point. Halos sticking around till Monday before getting eliminated. Then you've got all these wild card races and different configurations as far as the seeding is concerned.
And there's a lot of meaningful games of baseball being played for the last inning, last pitch. That's why the wild card was created to begin with.
Moore lifts this one out towards center. That will end the inning. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left on. We've played 4 here at the Big A. Texas still up 1-0.
Presented by authority of the Angels and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Angels.
Top of the 5th inning. Texas up by the score of 1-0. Adrian Beltre to lead things off.
That's a great picture.
Awesome picture. Kind of a different start time here tonight. 5 o'clock. I kind of like it too. I mean, I know it's a little bit later now that we're into September, whereas the 4 o'clock start, especially over the summer, you got to worry about the shadows coming in at about the 3rd or 4th innings. I like this 5 o'clock.
Yeah, it's certainly an advantage. Those 4 o'clock starts for the starting pitchers.
Yeah, for both
early
guys,
on.
yeah.
Early on.
Now right field gets beat down with the sun in their eyes.
Exactly. That stays that way for quite a while. Those 4 o'clock starts in the summer.
Beltre loops one out toward left field. Jeremy Moore is there. They'll make the catch for the first down. This being the last game of the regular season, our last broadcast until April of next year. We want to say thanks to not only you at home for watching us and listening to us all season long, but get a chance to thank the people that bring you these incredible pictures. It takes a lot of hard work and a lot of great people on our crew, from cameramen to audio and so on and so forth. So I'd like to thank some of our camera folks right now. Dave Bushner, Darren Pattison, Dennis Shannon, Kurt Struve, Michael Krasnick, who looks exactly like Billy Joel, and every time I see him I sing Piano Man to him.
He is the Piano Man.
He is the Piano Man. Ted Van Allen, Chris Bancroft, Rob Moran, Tim Dominic, Rusty Breslow, Fernando Thomas, Dwayne Ivey, and Lou Espinoza. So Those are just some of the few that have helped put together our broadcast.
Our guys that we work with are the best. And they do an unbelievable job. Friendly. They have great conversations with them all. They get some great angles, too. A lot of great ones during the course of the season. Pretty lucky.
No doubt about it. 3-0 pitch to Napoli is up high, and there's a walk. So a 1-out walk issued to Napoli, who's got the only hit for Texas tonight, that home run in the second. That'll bring up Nelson Cruz.
You see right there, Richards is pointing back to which middle infielder he's going to throw the baseball to if the ball's hit back to him. So important, that communication between a pitcher and a middle infielder, whether it be the shortstop or second baseman, who is going to receive the throw if there's a ball hit back to him.
Cruz looks at a pitch up and in, and Bobby Wilson's going to go out and talk things over. With a man at first base. Some of the sounds that you hear, the mixes that you hear through your surround sound at home.
Yes.
Anthony Hurd, Mark Ancliffe, Cameron Cheevers. Those are the ones that have to deal with. My headset is always too loud for me. I want to hear you.
What?
Yeah.
What?
So it's one of the bad things about having dog hearing, man. Unfortunate.
You do hear very well. Too well.
Rumor has it. One to Cruz. Swing and a miss. 1-2. Foul tipped and hung on to by Wilson. Down goes Cruz. First strikeout for Richards tonight. They're out number 2. Good break on that pitch.
And that's the pitch right there. I think when he keeps gaining confidence, and that's the pitch that's going to make him a big winner at the major league level. He's going to have the fastball, the velocity, and the movement. It's going to be the slider and his changeup that are going to determine how successful he's going to be at the major league level.
David Murphy, a fly ball to right field in the third inning. 0 for 1. Boy, Murphy played a huge role for Texas when Beltre went down, or pardon me, when Cruz went down with his hamstring issue. Went on a tear, getting a chance to play almost every day.
Well, he's a guy with some power, can run well, play any outfield position for you.
Just a little bit high, and it's 3 balls and no strikes. .3-0 pitch. Murphy looks at a strike, 3-1. Richards at 69 pitches, 38 have been strikes. Napoli with a short lead at first. Murphy fouls it back, so full count. Napoli will be off with the pitch at first base now.
Well, Richard with the good fastball. Would it be pretty interesting if he threw a changeup here at 3-2? He's had a good one. He threw a couple really going back to back to Josh Hamilton. Another left-handed batter.
Napoli takes off. The 3-2 grounded toward the hole. Ibar can't get it. Off his glove into left field. Napoli's going to try to go to third base. The throw from Moore is in time. Nice throw by Jeremy Moore. That will end the top of the inning. We head to the bottom of the 5th. Texas still up 1-0. take the extra 90 feet.
Well, aggressive coming in on the baseball. Perfect throw. The Callaspo is. Yep, they try to go first to third. Not against Jeremy Moore, you don't.
Bobby Wilson leading things off here in the bottom of the fifth, swinging at that off-speed pitch, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike. Harrison missing outside. The left-hander with 3 strikeouts, no walks, 3 hits allowed, 1 each in the last 3 innings, including twice getting a leadoff man on board as Bobby shoots one toward the alley in left center field. Nobody's going to get this one all the way to the wall. Wilson heading to second. He is in there with his 8th double of the year.
Boy, Bob Wilson getting a fastball up out over the plate. Crushes this fastball. Splits the outfield. You mentioned his 8th double of the season. And now in scoring position here with no outs.
Efren Navarro had a base hit in the 3rd inning, leading off that frame, and was stranded at first base. He'll look at a fastball for a strike. Baltimore had an opportunity to tie things up in the bottom of the 6th inning, but Adam Jones struck out with 2 outs and a man at 3rd base. So it's still 3-2 Boston. John Lester's done a nice job on 3 days rest.
What is he, 14-0 in his career?
Against the Orioles.
Against the Orioles, yes. I personally think it comes down to the mental side of it on that 3-day rest. If you don't think about it, well, am I going to be tired? Is my arm going to be the same as if I had that normal rest? Lester's got a great cut fastball. And when he backs it up with his sinker away and his changeup away, he becomes very unhittable. Even though he's struggled like everybody else in that staff for the Red Sox, he's in the mindset right now is going out there and attacking the hitters, and he's been pretty good so far for Boston.
Oh, 2. Chopped on the ground towards short. That'll advance Wilson over to third. Navarro's out number 1. So give Velasquez an opportunity to tie this ball game up. Man at 3rd, 1 away.
Play the infield in, it looks like.
Well, they see the Tigers winning against the Cleveland Indians, trying to protect. Velasquez lined out to Elvis Andrus. His first time up, so he's 0 for 1. Swings and drives one out toward right center field. This one's hit well. Hamilton and Cruz reaching out, makes the catch. It'll tie the ball game as Bobby Wilson scores, and we're knotted up at 1.
Velasquez did a nice job of getting a pitch that he could hit in the air and hit it very well to right center field. Tying the game up. And his first RBI of the season here for the Halos. A couple good at bats so far.
Second career run batted in for Gill. With 2 outs and nobody on. Here's Ibar. Takes the breaking pitch upstairs. Eric is 0 for 2. 2 outstanding plays by Ian Kinsler at second base. A diving stop in the 1st inning. A leaping grab of a liner. That one came in the 3rd. 3 balls and a strike. A double by Bobby Wilson, went to third on the ground out by Navarro. The sac fly by Gil Velasquez, tying this game up at 1 apiece. Ibar lays off, and there's a walk. First issued by the left-hander. Harrison's thrown 69 pitches, and for the most part has been pretty much in control. A lot of off-speed stuff, a lot of moving pitches, keeping hitters off balance. Mentioned the 3 strikeouts, 1 walk, and that was just now to Ibar with 2 outs as Mike Trout steps to the plate.
He's the guy that will utilize the slider against left-handed batters and uses the changeup away against right-handed batters, along with his 93-mile-an-hour fastball.
Bobby Caswell now up and playing catch. Trout tonight 0 for 2. Ground ball to first and a strikeout. This one's pulled past Beltran to left field. Rounding second, heading to third is Eric Ibar. The throw goes to second. And the Angels have runners at first and third with 2 outs. And Peter Borges coming up and trying to give the Angels a lead.
Often we talk about how quick those hands are for Mike Trout. Semin tucks him in very well and hits that ball hard in the left field. Gets it by Beltran at third base. Ibar's super quick himself getting into third.
Long conversation on the mound with Mike Maddox here. And finally, Paul Emmel, the home plate umpire, deciding to break up the meeting of the minds. Borges tonight is 0 for 2. Bouncer back to the mound and a strikeout. Ibar standing at third base, Trout over at first. Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike. Inside, almost got him. 2 balls and a strike.
Harrison with 6 wild pitches on the season. That's the pitch he has a tendency to overthrow. Going down and in against right-handed batters.
Three balls and 1 strike. Wells on deck. Some movement going on in the Rangers bullpen. Harrison getting ready to throw his 76th pitch. Nobody up and loosening as of yet. And a 3-1. Borges chops one to short. Andrews has it, flips it to Kinzel. The inning comes to an end. The Angels do tie things up. They get a run on a couple of hits and leave 2 on. 5 in the books. We're knotted up at 1.
Peter Borges robbing a home run from Jim Thome. At that point, it was home run number 594. And in his play on a Saturday game of the week, game-saving play by Peter Borges. An outstanding defender this entire season, in my opinion, a Gold Glove winner in center field. And that was our Coors Light Free Scan, brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light, and that sign out there in center field.
It is a 1-1 tie. Bobby Caswa has come into the ball game now in place of Garrett Richards, and our very own world-famous statistician Norm Peters donning the banana suit and doing the peanut butter jelly dance on the big screen for one last time.
And why would he not?
Caswa takes over for Richards, who went 5 innings tonight. Allowed 2 hits, 1 run. It's a home run to Mike Napoli. 1 strikeout, 3 walks.
Well, now that's a good game for Garrett Richards to go into the offseason with against a very powerful lineup in the Texas Rangers who pitched that well. Should give him confidence all winter long as he prepares to get ready for that competition to earn a spot in the rotation next spring training.
One ball, 1 strike on Mitch Moreland, who grounded out in the 3rd inning. Moreland grounds one to second base. Velasquez to his right. 1 away. I'd like to thank some of our other audio folks, A2s as they call them here. Matt Gierke, David Walcott, Ryan Mitchell, Doug Ensbury, Greg Prosser, pardon me. I probably butchered that name too. Tom Anderson.
You did good.
What are those? Are the mixers? Those guys on the board?
Do a great job with that also. Our go-to guys when there's some issues with our sound.
As my headset kind of fell apart today?
Yes, it did.
We figured it out, though.
Yes, we did.
Kinsler lays off the breaking pitch. Did not go, says ravishing Rob Drake. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. Where the Phillies loaded him up at the top of the 8th inning. Raul Ibanez with a strikeout. They head to the bottom of the 8th, and Atlanta up 3-2 at Turner Field. Atlanta and the Cardinals tied for the National League wild card. The Cardinals up 7-0 on the Astros. 1-2, check swing, did not go. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And appropriately enough, in Baltimore, a rain delay. Tarp is on the field.
How perfect is that right now?
3-2 Red Sox. Yeah, that means John Lester's probably done.
Yeah, there's no way you can take that chance. Even though you want to win, it's all about getting to the postseason. He's your future.
That's a pretty good pitch there by Casavon. That's a full count.
Well, we had 6 games there this year in Baltimore. We didn't have 1 rain delay, did we? That's almost impossible. Especially at one time when there was about 105 degrees for that weekend.
Balmy.
Yeah, just slightly.
3-2. Broken bat roller towards short. Ibar gets rid of it quickly. Kinsler's out number 2. Fans, Angel season seat holders making the commitment to renew for the 2012 season are being entered into a sweepstakes to win a new iPad 2. Today's sweepstakes winners are Bonhoff Lumber and Frank Svensson. Congratulations. Thank you for your renewal. To renew your season seats today, log on to angels.com/SSH. 2 groundouts to start this 6th inning. Elvis Andrews, the batter.
Well, and he got in Kinsler's kitchen with that fastball and ran in on his hand, broke his bat. Ibar made a nice play on that ball. That outside corner seemed to went away.
Bobby falls behind on Elvis at 2 balls and no strikes. Andrews with a walk and a fly ball to center field. So he's 0 for 1. Two and one. Chopper over the mound. Ibar going to have to hurry to get Andrews, and they got him. 3 ground ball outs as we head to the bottom of the 6th inning. Angels and the Rangers still tied at 1. Gardens Casino. Get your game on. And by El Pollo Loco. Now for only $5, get one of 5 tasty combos. They are the combos other combos wish they could be. Catch them before they are gone. Bottom of the 6th inning, tied at 1. Vernon Wells, Alberto Callaspo, Jeremy Moore to face Matt Harrison. The first pitch is up and away. Vernon 1 for 2 on a base, hit to right field in the 2nd inning. Fouls this one off to the right. Halos with 5 hits in this one, 2 of which came in the 5th inning. This one fouled off to the right again. It's 1-2. This one fouled back just below us. Cleveland's battled back to tie things up against the Tigers 4-4 at Comerica Park. That game at the top of the 8th inning.
When we look at Cleveland, too, they have a lot to play for today themselves, an opportunity to be 81-81. It doesn't sound like a lot, but a lot of people were picking them to lose at least 100 games this year.
Yep. Wells rolling this one to Andrews, and there's out number 1.
Now let's take a look at our Jaguar performance. Back on July 27th, Urban Santana in Cleveland. Absolutely dominant. 10 strikeouts and throws a no-hitter. Peter Borges makes the last play of the game. Urban Santana was absolutely dominant in that ball game. 10 strikeouts, no-hitter. Just chilling now in the dugout. Just reflecting on that no-hitter.
He's chilling all the time. Here's a look at All the no-hitters in Angels history as Callaspo takes outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. The Magic Man's always chill. I mean,
remember how he got in that role? He pitched in Baltimore, a place where he had an ERA, a career ERA around 8. Had a no-hitter going into the 6th inning in that game.
This one toward the middle. Andrews throws out Callaspo for round number 2.
And then all of a sudden carried that great performance against Cleveland, which he had never won a game against them. Ends up throwing a no-hitter against Cleveland. You look at the win-loss record. Doesn't well. You obviously 11-12, but the ERA, the innings pitched, just shy of 230 innings pitched this year for Irvin.
Two outs and nobody on now for Jeremy Moore. The strikeout victim, his first time up, fly ball to center in the 4th, 0 for 2. Fastball in tight. 1 ball, 1 strike. Two and 1 now. Good breaking pitch, locked up Moore. Evens a count of 2 balls, 2 strikes. It looks like the National League is going to be headed to a play-in game tomorrow in St. Louis. Cardinals would be hosting the Braves as Moore strikes out swinging, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for the Halos. Through 6, still tied at 1. To win World Series tickets, compliments of Scott's. Top of the 7th, we are tied at 1. Here the 7th for Texas. Josh Hamilton will lead things off, followed by Michael Young, then Adrian Beltrick. It's Bobby Casvo in his 2nd inning of work. Hamilton tonight 0 for 2. Fly ball to right and a line out. A little soft humpback liner to Alberto Callaspo. His last time up. This one's rolled foul. No balls to the strike. Way outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Bobby had himself a 1-2-3 6th inning in his first inning of action, replacing Garrett Richards. Garrett going 5 innings, 1 strikeout, 3 walks, 1 run on 2 hits. Napoli with his 29th home run of the year. That came with 2 outs in the second. Hamilton lifts one in the air down the left field line. Jeremy Moore giving chase. They'll track it down for the first out.
And Moore's played some good defense out in left field. Covered a lot of ground. That strong arm to play at third base to Callaspo. Also like to take an opportunity to thank some more people. Our tape ops: Brad Walker, Mark Weedman, Edgar Lopez, Norm Larson, Scott France, Doug Coughlin, Jerry Todd, and our PAs, Norm Peters.
Oh, yeah. World famous Norm Peters.
He is the living legend. Anna D'Amico, Phil Bartell, and of course Lawrence Swenson.
A one hopper to Gil Velasquez. Young is retired for out number 2. Norm just donned the banana suit, and it was priceless. That's all you could say.
I can't believe he drove into work that way, but
yeah.
hey, it is the last game of the season.
2 outs and nobody on. Adrian Beltre will step to the plate.
I'll tell you, it is odd when you have that last game of the year for a lot of players, especially when you think about it. You're in either dugout. Well, the Rangers obviously are going on for the playoffs. Or for the Angels, there are going to be some guys, you sit there and you wonder, is this going to be your last game wearing that Angel uniform? There's always going to be some changes during the course of a year. When you don't win a world championship, there's always some changes. And even then, sometimes there is. So you wonder that opportunity to say goodbye to some friends. Wonder if you're going to see them next year in Tempe, Arizona. Some free agents. It's a tough thing.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one thing I regretted every year, that last game of the year, if you weren't going to the postseason, because guys that you went on a lot of flights, bus trips, 162 games, all those spring training games. All of a sudden, you wonder if you're going to be teammates with them ever again. And it's a difficult thing. It's very emotional, that last game, for players sitting in that dugout.
Isanori Takahashi getting ready. 1-2 count on Adrian Beltre. He's hit a couple of fly ball outs tonight. Breaks his bat, loops one down the line. That is a fair ball. Moore is over there to cut it off, and Beltre will stop at first with a 2-out base hit. Boy, sawed him off. Beltre strong enough to get it out to left, and keeps getting alive for Mike Napoli. At Comerica Park, Tigers back up on top. It's the 9th inning there. 5-4. Boston and the Orioles still in a rain delay. And the Yankees more than likely putting the finishing touches on the Tampa Bay Rays. 7-0. So the Rays now really needing the Orioles to come back and take care of Boston in order to force a play-in game for tomorrow. A 1-ball, 1-strike count. Napoli 1 for 1 with that home run. Drew a walk into 5th. Missed inside. 2-1. Three and 1. Nelson Cruz on deck. Three 1. Napoli fouls it off to the right. Full count now. Beltre will be on for the pitch. Beltre goes. A 3-2 is bounced up the third base line. Callaspo's got it across his body. The inning comes to an end. 7th inning stretch time here at the Big A. Still tied up at 1.
Artie Moreno, the first Hispanic owner in baseball. Since 2003, Artie has done what it takes to put a winner on the field and build a connection to the community.
He's got an incredible passion for this game.
He's put us on the map. He's created the Angel brand. He's created the environment that this is a fan-friendly experience, that this is a destination spot.
There's Artie Moreno in the background there. Angels owner. The Brain Trust, part of the Brain Trust here, the front office for the Angels. Last game of the regular season. And a pretty good one. 1-1 tie here as we play in the bottom of the 7th inning. New pitcher on for Texas, Koji Uehara.
Uehara is a guy with not overpowering stuff on his fastball, but spots it extremely well. 86 to 90, slider, changeup, and split finger fastball.
Second time in this series that Uehara's pitch. He pitched Monday. Ended up going inning and a third and striking out 2. He takes over for Matt Harrison, who went 6 innings today. 4 strikeouts, 1 walk, 5 hits, 1 run. It was earned. Bobby Wilson to lead things off, and it was Bobby who led things off in the 5th inning with a double. Came around to score the Angels' run to tie things up. Bobby is swinging a miss on the fastball, and it's no balls to the strike. That'll even the count. Two and 1 now. This one fouled back. Just above the visiting TV booth.
They've been pretty active.
A 2-ball, 2-strike count. Boy, off the end of the bat, there's that off-speed pitch. Very devastating. Even though he left that one up, still took enough off of it.
Yeah, that's the thing. He sells it so well. He's got good arm motion with his changeup. And his fastball's not overpowering at 88-90 range, but his changeup very good. Went back again with an off-speed pitch.
Again with the off-speed. A little developing situation in Atlanta, by the way. Top of the 9th inning. Craig Kimbrell, the fireballer, has loaded the bases up with 1 out in a 1-run game in a must-win situation for Atlanta as Houston, or St. Louis, I should say, is taking care of Houston. Down at Minute Maid Park as Bobby fouls this one straight back.
Well, Kimbrell has that great fastball. He's a punch out there.
Chase Utley at the plate.
A little compact swing that Utley has. It's going to be difficult to get a double play ball, so he's got to look for the strikeout.
Full count here on Bobby. Good AB. Efrain Navarro on deck. Gil Velasquez would follow. Fouled off. Chase Utley with a sacrifice fly has tied things up in Atlanta. 3-3.
And why not if you're the Braves right now?
Oh, what a September for them. Bobby fouls another one back. And the thing is that the Braves, I hate to use the term collapse, but it's very apropos in this situation here. Not getting a whole lot of a play on it because of the Boston Red Sox and $160 million payroll. They were expected to be handed the World Series trophy and all that stuff. As Wilson finally foul tips that one for a strikeout for out number one.
And now it's time for Coors Light Cold Hard Blast. Back on August 18th, Mark Trumbo, just when it looked like the Rangers were going to sweep the 4-game series, hits a big fly, a walk-off big fly. At that point, propelled the Angels into a good winning streak at that time. Well, what a year for Trumbo. 29 home runs in his rookie year. Couple walk-off variety also.
Here's Efrain Navarro with one out, nobody on. Upstairs, 1 ball, no strikes. Boy, what a devastating change if that was. Had Efrain out in front, evens the count at 1-1. Navarro today 1 for 2, picked up his first major league hit down the third base line in the 3rd inning. Hits this one out toward right center field. Nelson Cruz calls off Josh Hamilton. Now Hamilton takes charge. 2 outs. So 2 up and 2 down here in the 7th, and here comes Gil Velasquez. Gil lined out to Anderson the 3rd inning, had a sacrifice fly in the 5th. He tied this game up. Swing and a miss on the off-speed pitch. And the snowballs at 2 strikes. The Tigers have defeated the Cleveland Indians. And a loss tonight by Texas. And the Tigers would get the number 2 seed in the American League Division Series. Texas would be off to New York to take the Yankees in the 1st round.
It's never a bad idea to avoid the Yankees in the 1st round if you can. Especially when you got to go to New York.
The 1-2 count on Gil Velasquez. Fouls it off to the right.
Well, even in the National League, this number 2 seed is still being determined tonight with Milwaukee and Arizona.
Milwaukee leading Pittsburgh 6-2. Milwaukee's got a 1-game advantage over the Diamondbacks. Diamondbacks trailing the Dodgers. So as it stands right now, it looks like Milwaukee will be the number 2 seed. This one's rolled foul. They still won't know who they're playing until the wild card situation is determined. Outside, 2 balls, 2 strikes. If the Cardinals get in as the wild card, Milwaukee will take on the Diamondbacks. The Phillies will take on the Cardinals. Off speed, down low, full count. Ibar on deck. The Braves get in, then it's Braves, Brewers. Diamondbacks, Phillies. This one back up the middle, a base hit. Good piece of hitting by Velasquez. A man on with 2 outs as Eric Ibar strolls to the plate.
Velasquez continues to have good at-bats. Has the bat sacrifice fly. Tries in the only run so far for the Angels. This one right back up the middle. High pitch. Brought his hands up because he keeps his hands low in his approach. But able to get his hands up and through the baseball.
Ibar with a ground down, a line out, and a walk. Quick throw to first. Velasquez gets back in there. Quick feet by Uehara.
Uehara is very difficult to steal against. Not only has a quick move, he's very, very fast to the plate.
Off speed, looped over to Kinsler. That will end the inning. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left on. 7 complete. Still tied at 1. For tonight.
Certainly some positives for the young players tonight. Garrett Richards, 5 quality innings. Only 1 earned run allowed against this powerful Ranger lineup. Navarro getting his first career base hit, a single to left field. Gil Velasquez has done a nice job today. Base hit and a sacrifice fly. 2nd career RBI for Gil.
Nelson Cruz swinging first pitch slider. Comes up empty, and it's no balls at a strike. Bobby Casval working his 3rd inning of relief. Facing Cruz, Murphy, and Moreland. One ball, 1 strike. Cruz tonight is 0 for 2. He's lined out to Callasco, and he has struck out. This one grounded up the middle, and it's a base hit. Leadoff man is on board for Texas. Fans, visit the official online shop of the Angels at angels.com. You can browse the largest online selection of authentic team gear, including caps, t-shirts, jerseys, collectibles, and more. Get your team gear straight from the source. Shop the angels.com shop. Mike Socha's coming out. David Murphy and Moreland due up, 2 lefties. Looks like Hisanori Takahashi will be called upon to keep this as a 1-1 tie. Pitching change here in the 8th. Knotted up at 1. Takahashi takes over, pitching in his 61st game this year.
Good ERA at 3.49, a couple saves in his 61st game of the season for Takahashi. Good fastball, and it's not about the velocity itself. Its location, his changeup, very good as well as his sweeping breaking ball. I'd like to take another opportunity to thank some more people who have done a great job for us this season. Our video of Pete Fanning, Barry Long, Stu Westlick. Our utilities, Steve Lanny, John Chum Chum Lee, and Jose Munoz.
Chum Chum's a great nickname.
Oh, that is. Great one.
Mom and Dad are probably proud.
Yes.
David Murphy at the plate with Nelson Cruz standing at first. Nobody out here in the 8th. Murphy 1 for 2, had a base hit in the 5th inning. Sacrifice situation. The fastball is a little bit high. 1 ball, no strikes. Bunts it out in front of the mound. Takahashi will fire on the first. The sacrifice works as Cruz advances into scoring position. And now Moreland. Nope, they're going to get a pinch hitter here. Yorvit Torrealba come out. Pinch hit for Mitch Moreland. First baseman ends up going 0 for 2 with a couple of ground outs.
Your attention, please. Batting for Mitch Moreland. Number 8, Yorvit Torrealba.
Torrealba 273 average on the year. 7 home runs, 37 runs batted, and he's 0 for 4 as a pinch hitter this season. Got the top of the order and Kinsler on deck.
Well, this shows you how important this game is to Ron Washington and Rangers, where they're sacrifice bunting. Last game of the year, tie score at 1 in the 8th inning. They want this game bad, and it's going to be up to Takahashi to make some good pitches to keep it tied.
Swing and a miss on the off-speed pitch. No balls and 1 strike. If you're just tuning in, it's a 1-1 tie here in the 8th inning. For the Angels, it'd be nice to go out on a winning note. More importantly, Texas needing a victory to avoid falling to the 3 seed in the postseason. And taking on the New York Yankees, the Tigers have won. The Tigers and the Rangers finished with a similar record. The Tigers have the tiebreaker based on the fact they had the better series record against Texas this year. Going into this game, Texas had a 1-game lead over the Tigers, so it's a must-win situation for Texas. Otherwise, they go out on the road to take on the Yankees Friday. That pitch is down low. And it's 1 ball, 1 strike. If Texas wins, they start at home against the wild card. And that wild card to be determined still. Rays are losing 7-0. Swing and a miss at 1-2. Boston leading Baltimore 3-2, but that game at Camden Yards is in a rain delay. If those two teams remain tied, there will be a play-in game tomorrow. I believe start time's 4 o'clock Eastern, I believe. On the first one, 8 o'clock Eastern. On the second one, I'm not quite sure on the order. I think the National League game is first. 1-2, bouncer to third. Callasco's got him. Cruz remains at second base.
Well, I'm just looking at the run total scored by the teams that right now look like they would be in the playoffs in the American League, and they're all at the top as far as runs scored. Texas coming in this game, 852 runs scored. Boston, which if they can hold on to their lead with Tampa losing, they've scored 872 runs. The Yankees 860 runs, and the Tigers 782. So there's a possibility of some high-scoring games and exciting games in the playoffs in the American League.
Yeah, the Angels rolled into this one with 666 runs, now 667 with that run in the 5th inning, 10th in the American League. Kinsler looks at an off-speed pitch down low.
When I'm looking at Seattle, they've scored 556 runs, and you look at Boston, 872. That's amazing. You don't see that too often, that much separation as far as runs scored, and you can see why one's going to the playoffs and the other's not.
2 balls and no strikes. Kinsler tonight, a line out, a walk, and a ground out. Just off the plate, 3-0. Andrews on deck. And here is the intentional walk. First base open, so take your chances with Andrews. The guy who's a pretty good contact hitter.
And you set up a force play also.
Cruz standing at second, Kinsler at first, and a 1-1 tie here in the 8th. 0-1. Andrews has drawn a walk. He's hit a fly ball to center. He's grounded out to short. 0-for-2 game.
You see Trout playing in right field. That's the spot where Andrews hits the ball a lot. Tries to keep his hands back and punch the ball in the right field. Trout playing in to be able to cut that off in case there's a flare to the right.
Fastball just missed in off the plate. 1-1.
Takes that inside pitch a lot like Derek Jeter does on that fastball inside. A lot of same mannerisms from Andrews. Looking at Derek Jeter over the years.
One lifted foul and out of play. This one into the seats. 1-2. Andrews, ground ball to second. Velasquez has it on to first. That will end the inning. Into the bottom of the 8th. Tied up at 1. College football Saturday begins with Texas Tech at Kansas. Rock Chalk Jayhawk. Then it's a pair of Pac-12 battles as Arizona takes on USC, and Washington travels to Utah. The FX Game of the Week features number 17 Texas taking on Iowa State. And finally, UCLA heads to the Farm to take on number 4 Stanford. College football Saturday this week. It's 9 a.m. Pacific in high def. New pitcher on for the Texas Rangers. It is Mike Adams, the former Padre. And he'll be taking on Trout, Borges, and Wells, the scheduled 3 guys here in the 8th.
Adams, with that tough angle, he throws that fastball. He can rush the fastball at 90-93 range with good sink. Very hard slider also.
So Torrealba stays in the game, and he will do the catching. Mike Napoli moves over to first base. Mike Trout tonight 1 for 3, had a base hit in the 5th. Napoli playing it at first base. Beltre at third. Adams taking a while to get on the bump. Throw this first pitch. Joe's bunt, the fastball misses outside. Koji Uehara went 1 inning, had 1 hit allowed and 1 strikeout. Adams pitched 1 inning in game 1 of the series Monday. Had 1 strikeout, everything else zeros. Trout cues the slider foul.
This will be a pretty good test for Trout. Adams with some good move and stuff. Very difficult against a right-handed batter. He'll run that fastball in and then go to the other side of the plate with his slider. Back to a slider again.
A 1-2 count.
And we wonder if Adams will go with another slider or try to elevate a fastball.
1-2. A little bit high. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Peter Borges on deck. Beltre guarding the line at third base. The outfield shading Trout the opposite way. This one hit toward left field. Murphy's coming on. He'll play it on a hop. Leadoff man is on board as Mike Trout picks up a leadoff single.
Impressive at bat. A tough pitcher. Puts it in play, gets a base hit. Fastball sicker down. You see how quick he is through his swing. Generates a lot of bat speed. He has a chance to be a special, special player. There's no question about it.
Beltre playing way in at third. Sacrifice situation, anticipating a sacrifice. Borges doesn't give it away as Adams checks in on Trout.
Adams with a pretty quick move, though, has allowed 4 stolen bases in 4 attempts over here in the American League.
Long pause. One ball, no strikes. Adams with the Padres this year, 3-1 mark, a 113 earned run average in 48 games before getting traded to Texas. And with Texas playing and pitching in his 27th game.
Not easy to hit out of the ballpark either. Just allowed 5 home runs. 72, 73 innings pitched.
Evan Longoria with a 3-run home run in the bottom of the 8th inning. What was a 7-0 Yankee lead is now 7-6 Yankees. Tampa Bay still batting in the 8th.
Well, you talk about an amazing comeback if you come back and win that game.
Borges drops one on the first base side. Adams looks to second, but is only placed to first. The sacrifice works as Trout advances into scoring position. Remember, Boston and the Orioles in a rain delay at Camden Yards. Boston leading that game, and they're going to wait a long time for that game. You're going to get 9 innings there, regardless.
I saw there's been a lot of rain on the eastern seaboard once again, so there will be some time before they get back and start playing that one.
So man in scoring position for Vernon Wells. Vernon tonight 1 for 3. Had a base hit in the second. Tied at 1 here in the bottom of the 8th. Go ahead run in scoring position. Mike Trout representing that run. With 1 out, he led off this 8th inning with a base hit to left. Breaking pitch down low. 1 ball, no strikes. Outfield shallow for Texas with Wells at the plate. The 1-0. Breaking ball is in there. 1 ball, 1 strike. Texas with a run on 4 hits. They've left 4 on base. The Angels a run on 7 hits. 6 men stranded. Trout with a pretty good lead. 1-1 pitch out toward center field. Hit well. Playable for Hamilton as he drifts back to it. Trout will tag, and he'll advance to third. Kind just missing that one. But there are 2 outs now.
Always a good idea to tag up, because then it takes away that nasty slider from the pitcher. Because if you bounce it in the dirt, a wild pitch, and all of a sudden the go-ahead run comes across with Mike Trout and that speed at third base.
Alberto Callas with the plate. A 1-for-3 game for Burt. Had a base hit in the 4th inning. He's grounded out the other 2 times. A 1-0 count. Adams with the 1-0 pitch. And Alberto looks at his strike. Evens the count. Outfield straight up against Alberto. But shallow. Murphy shallow and towards the foul line in left field. Trying to take away any little Texas leaguer that might fall in there. 1-1. Chopper towards the middle. Andrews lays back on it, has it. Goes on to first. The inning comes to an end. No runs. 1 hit, a man stranded at third base. 8 complete, still tied at 1. Some of our great folks that have worked all season long in our production here. Some of our engineers, Mark, Xbox, Ryle, Andrew Lee, and graphics, Mitch Reinhardt, Dan Snyder, ADs, Evan Schloff, Rodas, Jeff Kirby, Our stage managers, Dean Benson, Brittany Salvacall. Technical directors, Kenneth Kirschbaum, Zach Jensen, Dave Bernstein. Can't forget our great producers, Jeff Kibler, Jay Cutlow, and our directors, the ones that tell everybody what to do, basically.
Yes.
Well, at least they think they've got the power.
Yes, they do.
Matt Lipp, John Gonzalez, Andy Rosenberg.
Tell you what, we're pretty fortunate to have this crew working with us and for us, showing us the right directions.
Jordan Walden takes over here in the ninth. Hamilton, Young, and Beltre in a 1-1 tie. Hamilton 0 for 3. Little flyouts. Pascal goes into foul territory here. Hamilton is the first down of the ninth.
Be nice to see to have Jordan have some success here. Tough batter there in Hamilton, getting him to pop it up. Again, young players to leave the season on a good, positive note, very important. That's why you see Mike Scioscia putting him in here. You know, it's a tie ball game. You want those positive vibes going into the offseason.
Facing Michael Young, and the fastball is down low. Young tonight 0 for 3. Once is grounded to third, twice to second. Jordan, of course, going back to Sunday's heartbreaker. Took the loss, and now it's 6-5 to Oakland as Young flips one out to right field, and he picks up a base hit. One out knock here ninth puts a man on for Adrian Beltre.
Well, that's just a great piece of hitting. Michael Young so good as far as covering the outer part of the plate and hitting the ball to right field.
For Young, his 213th hit of the year.
Thanks, Fox Box operators, Disco Don Walker, Ricardo Avila. Did a tremendous job. Disco Don.
We do have some unbelievable nicknames.
Yes, we do.
On this production team.
Just great people to work with, period, here.
Walden pitching in his 62nd game. 5-4 record, a 2.73 ERA. 32 saves on the year. 10 blown saves, the 10th coming on that Sunday. Swing and a miss, high fastball. Evens the count at 1 ball, 1 strike. Looks like veteran Darren Oliver loosening. Beltre grounds one toward third, but foul. Wide of the bag. There's Oliver. Vitali Feliz as well. One-two. Popped up on the infield. Ibar comes charging in. Calls off Velasquez. Drops.
Now that's good communication right there. Calling that baseball. Eric Ibar, emphatic about catching that baseball.
So Napoli will step in now with 2 outs and Michael Young standing at first. The Angels in the bottom of the ninth inning currently have Moore, Wilson, and Navarro due up. There are pinch hitting options available for Mike Scioscia.
Lots of them.
Breaking pitch didn't miss by much, and it's 1-1.
Well, that pitch looked perfect.
So good it may have fooled Paul Emmel. Michael 1 for 2 game, 29th home run of the year back in the second. He's drawn a walk and grounded out. That fastball looked pretty good as well, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike.
Fastball, strike.
Three and one.
Well, how an at-bat changes now all of a sudden and favors Napoli here. It could have been 2, even 3 strikes out of the at-bat. Angels are hitting. All of a sudden, it's a 3-1 count.
And Napoli lifts one high and deep down the left field line. Moore near the corner, and that one is gone. Mike Napoli has just hit a 2-run home run, his second of the ball game, and Texas is up 3-1.
Well, again, this at-bat should be completely different. You have to go after him with a fastball. A couple pitches that caught the strike zone were not called. Next thing you know, fastball up. And Napoli's so quick on that fastball up. We've seen it for years.
Nelson Cruz lifting one out to deep left field. Moore makes the catch. And the inning comes to an end. Mike Napoli now with 30 home runs on the year. We head to the bottom of the 9th inning. The Angels down 3-1. The benefit of having a 1-game advantage over the Tigers. Tigers won today, and had Texas, if Texas loses this one, Tigers have the tiebreaker, and the Rangers have to go to New York. But as it stands right now, if Neftali Feliz closes it out, Texas will go home, and they will take on the wild card, while the Tigers have to go to New York and take on the Yankees.
Yeah, when you think about it, that's a pretty good advantage when you face the wild card team, because they're beating each other up and had a tough time even getting into the postseason. Not a lot of momentum going, especially if the Red Sox get in there to be able to play the Rangers right now. And the way Ron Washington has handled this club and the way their offenses continue to swing the bat all the way till the 9th inning of the last game of the year. Very impressive. Now Feliz in the game trying to save it. Very good fastball. We've seen him popping it in there pretty good so far. 93-97, curve and split finger fastball.
Jeremy Moore to lead things off. Meiser Sturis has come out to the on-deck circle. And then you have Efren Navarro due up. Feliz pitching in his 64th game, a 2-3 record, a 2.79 earned run average, 31 saves on the year. And the fastball is down low.
By the way, Victor, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank you for the great job you did this year, and looking forward to listening to you in the postseason.
Thanks, man.
We're in the NL.
Still
either going to be
going.
Either going to be Milwaukee, Arizona, or somewhere.
Somewhere, yeah. Somewhere in the National League.
It's been a pleasure working with you this year again.
Moore fouling it back. A 1-ball, 2-strike count. Pleasure working with you. Second season. Looking forward to our third next year. Kicking it off at home, Kansas City Royals. Moore loops one out towards center. Hamilton coming on. One away. Jeremy ends the game going 0 for 4. Bobby Wilson's spot. It's Meister Sturz pinch hitting for him. .277 on the year for Sturz. 5 home runs. Looking for a base runner here. This has not been his forte this year, pinch hitting. 1 for 14.
And one being a pop-up really in the shallow center fielder where all 3 fielders went out and let the ball fall in.
Should have been. That was in Toronto last week. Swinging through the fastball, and it's 1-2. Navarro on deck. Meister, swing and a miss, 2 outs. So the Halos down to the last out. Efren Navarro will come to the plate. Navarro 1 for 3. Had a base hit, his first major league knock in the 3rd inning. Efren lines one to right field. Nelson Cruz coming on, makes the play. No, it goes right off his glove and it trickles behind him. Navarro advances to second. Tough play for any outfielder. That sinking liner, you're not sure if your heart is into diving for the ball and making the catch, or you play it on the short hop there. Cruz made a nice effort on it, just goes off his glove.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Victor. In that top hand swing, you're caught in between. Do you slide and make the play, or just play it in front of you to keep him to a single? But Navarro, his first career double, along with his first career base hit early in the ballgame. 2-hit game for Navarro.
So Bobby Abreu will step to the plate here, pinch hitting for Gil Velasquez. Abreu, a .253 average this year, 8 home runs, 60 runs batted in, 0 for 5 as a pinch hitter. Looks at a fastball for a strike. Bobby behind in the count at 0-2. Navarro at second base with 2 outs. The 0-2 crossed up. Torrealba.
I'm guessing he was looking for a fastball, got a split finger fastball instead.
Yep. Rather have it be that way than the other way.
Oh, no question.
Looking splitter and getting a fastball in your chest. Always fun. Top of the order, an Ibar on deck. Bobby trying to keep it going, keeping it alive. Here's the 1-2. Lays off the breaking ball. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Two-two pitch. Bobby strikes out, swinging, and the Rangers have swept the Angels, taking the finale 3-1 and securing home field advantage in the postseason.
Boy, what it came down to is that power that Texas possesses. Seen it in this series. We've seen it the entire year. Mike Napoli's put on display the last couple games along with the entire offense. 7 home runs in the last 2 games alone for the Rangers. Well, they look like a very dangerous team going into the postseason. I don't think anybody wants to play them right now.
Mike Adams picks up the victory in relief. Jordan Walden takes the loss. And Vitaly Feliz picks up his 33rd save. The final once again, 3-1 Texas. Stick around.